Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. Good morning. I am here on my porch. It is about 45 degrees out here and it's glorious. I've got my cup of black coffee. And the breeze is a little bit less intense than it was the other day, so for that I am grateful. Currently, there's a bit of chaos happening inside my house, so I enjoy coming to talk to you here on the front porch where it's a little bit more peaceful. Also, I've got a weird grip on my coffee. I gotta let that go for a second. Whew. I just love this mug. We got this mug in Ireland. It was handcrafted in Ireland, and so it's currently my favorite. All right. I am still in my pajamas and still haven't gotten ready for the day because I got sidetracked with trying to put together some activities for the 5-year-old to do while we work on school lessons. Sometimes I get a bee in my bonnet, and that's sort of where I wind up, trailing off in the mornings. So that is what I did. Everybody's bustling around, getting themselves some breakfast. I myself am quite hungry, so I am going to go put together some breakfast, and because this is a what I eat in a day video, I'm going to show that to you when it's ready. Here is breakfast. It's one of my more favorite things to do recently when I just don't know what to do. So I took about 1 cup of my homemade yogurt. I do have a video showing how I make that. So if you want to check that out, I will try to link that in the iCards. About 1 cup of that homemade yogurt, and then about half a scoop of the strawberry MCT oil powder. Mix it all together, and then I just did about 1/4 cup of the honey nut cereal from the Perfect Keto line, and that will kind of add some texture, and this adds more fat. My homemade yogurt, I use whole milk, the whole Fairlife milk, so that it does have more fat in general, but I also like to add more fat. If you felt like adding collagen, you could do that. I don't find it to be necessary, and this is delicious. So I'm going to eat this for breakfast, and then I'm going to have this cup of coffee, and I will probably make a high-fat coffee after I'm finished drinking that black coffee. It's about an hour and a half later, and I finally got around to making my fatty coffee. So in here, I put about 1 tablespoon of butter. I didn't quite scrape off the edge there. Oh well. And then I used about half a scoop of the salted caramel MCT oil powder from Perfect Keto. Have my coffee back there. This little hand frother whizzed it all together, made a lovely frothy looking cup of coffee. And I'm going to enjoy this while we carry on with our day. It's been a little bit since I finished that coffee. Everybody is off doing their own activities, playing, that sort of thing. And I feel a little bit bored. I've done tasks that I purposed to do this morning, and now I'm just kind of wandering around. I'm not usually a bored person, but I'm feeling a little bored with more energy than I know what to do with. I am also a little bit thirsty. I think I'm gonna go whip up some electrolytes, go play a little electrolyte roulette, see what I pull out of the cabinet. And then I guess maybe I can go through and pull weeds, because that's a never-ending task, and manage that. But yeah, just kind of puttering around. I don't like this boredom feeling, and maybe that means that I need a little bit more space in my life. That doesn't feel right. No. Played electrolyte roulette, came up with Relight mixed berry, and I used my little hot water trick, 4 ounces of hot water from the Keurig, and then I whizzed that up with a coffee frother so that it dissolves rapidly, and then I filled it up with my reverse osmosis water right here, and yeah, I'm gonna drink that. My lunch is ready. I have a ribeye steak that I pan-seared on my cast iron skillet over there. The only thing I put on my steak was this real salt. I do have a link and a discount code in my description box if you feel so inclined. And then I have some butter egg white bread where I used Neely's frozen butter technique. I put some in a loaf pan, or like a baguette style pan. This is half of one of those baguettes. It is so buttery. I don't need anything on it. So I'm going to use that to sop up any of the extra fat and juice that runs out of my steak once it is done. Oh, a little bitty crumbly. And then in my cup here, all I have is just some plain old water. That lunch was so good. Oh, so good. It hit the spot in the best way possible. The bread recipe that I used is one that I'm just kind of tinkering with. It's not really out there at all because I'm still just playing around with different ratios, and using the frozen grated butter is just clutch. I'm trying really to make the egg white protein bread or the egg protein bread much more inexpensively because you know the egg white protein powder has gotten so expensive as of late, and I don't know, I don't want to have to repurchase that, and I would just like to be able to use a lot of the ingredients that I already have. Acacia fiber is one of those things that is in there, and it just does something beautiful to the texture. And yeah, the grated butter, I tell you what, I think I toasted that half of that baguette loaf in my air fryer for like 3 minutes tops. It just barely got a little bit golden on the on each side, and ooh, oh, so good. I didn't need any butter on it because all the butter was on the inside. It was also kind of like pillowy and marshmallowy in the texture without being foamy. It was like, you know, like styrofoam, the hard styrofoam. So good. I'm still tweaking it because it would not hold up to anything beyond just eating it on its own. And I would eventually like to turn it into little tiny crostini rounds to use on like a charcuterie board or something. So that's the goal. What I created was amazing, just not exactly what I'm hunting for in the long run. So anyway, I think I might go ahead and make myself one more cup of coffee, but this time make it decaf. Actually, who are we kidding? It's like barely 2 o'clock now. The reality is I'm probably going to have an afternoon cup of coffee and then turn around and make a pre-bedtime cup of coffee. I have noticed that keeping my meals earlier, like finishing my food consumption earlier in the day and then just ending the evening with fatty coffee, is improving my numbers in a way that really makes my brain happy. And it also seems to be clearing away some of that brain fog that I feel I continue to try to climb out of. I think my body just likes to slowly come back to my baseline. The trip that we took to Ireland and Italy, I know I keep bringing that up, but it seems like it had a longer lasting effect on my body coming back to my baseline than I really thought originally. We went to Scotland back in the late winter, early spring, and it seemed like my body took a little bit of time to come out of that as well. And at the end of all of that, I decided to switch from the high protein, moderate high fat back to the high fat, moderate high protein. And I was trying to keep my protein low. I'm not a low protein girl. I do want the protein and I really want the fat. So, okay, I've digressed long enough. I'm gonna go brew that cup of decaf coffee. Words are hard, I need some chapstick. I'll show you when I have it all done. All right, I have a cup of decaf coffee. I did put a tablespoon of butter in here, which is the color you see, and I'm going to enjoy that while I get a little bit of reading done. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that you wanted to click on this video. For those who are new, I am Lindsay. I do a lot of what I eat in a day content. I share recipes, I share grocery hauls occasionally, and I also like to do Wellness Wednesdays where I just kind of talk about my experience for the week following a low carb ketogenic lifestyle or keto friendly lifestyle, as it were. Yeah, that's the stuff I put here on my channel. If any of that is interesting to you, I would love for you to check out the channel and consider subscribing. Everything I share is descriptive rather than prescriptive. So take everything you see as just an example of how one individual lives a keto-friendly lifestyle. Down in my description box, I have a few different links that I am affiliated with. I've got Redmond, I've got Perfect Keto, and I have an Amazon storefront. Any of the things that you see me using around my kitchen that I say I've got on Amazon, I try to put those in my storefront, but it's, you know, sometimes things slip through the cracks around here. I have a discount code for Perfect Keto and for Redmond. So if you would like to support my channel by using those links, I would greatly appreciate it. But there's also no pressure. I do earn a small amount of commission when you use my links in the description, but they do not increase the price for you. That's how the affiliate thing works. And I do like that. You get products that you might actually need. So if you use those links in the description, I appreciate it. And if you don't, I fully respect your right to choose. Last thing for tonight, 1 cup of decaf coffee and a tablespoon of coconut oil, tablespoon of butter. I mixed it all together with my handy dandy rechargeable frother. That is a kitchen gadget I love. And I'm gonna drink this and get ready for bed.